Dear students, we have conventional and non-conventional sources of electrical power generation system. In the last class, we have seen the non-conventional sources like thermal power generation system, nuclear power generation system and hydroelectric power generation system. Today, we can see the non-conventional sources like solar energy conversion system and wind energy conversion system. The main advantage of using non-conventional sources are like solar and wind are they are renewable sources. So there is no fuel required. So the running cost of the system is zero. And it will not produce any atmospheric pollution. The main disadvantage of non-conventional sources are the electricity generation is possible only when the source is available. If it is solar power generation, the solar power is only available during the daytime and the night time there will not be solar power generation. Also it depends on the weather conditions. Similarly for wind generation also. The power production depends on the availability of wind. So there should be electrical storage devices so that the continuous supply can be maintained. First we can see a solar photovoltaic system. Solar power generation can be solar thermal system or solar photovoltaic system. In solar thermal system, heat energy from the sun is used for converting water to steam and it will work like a thermal power plant. But nowadays, since the efficiency of solar thermal systems are very less, nowadays the solar system is mainly with solar photovoltaic systems. In a solar photovoltaic system, the visible light is directly converted into electrical energy by using solar cells. Solar cells are mainly made up of silicon. Solar cell is a PN junction diode which generates electron flow when visible light falls on it. So, the voltage generated by solar cell, usually it will be small amount of voltage to 0.5 volt in a small solar cell, and there will be number of solar cells connected in series and parallel to get required power output and the voltage output rated voltage. So when the visible light falls on the solar array, it will produce a DC voltage. The output of solar panel will be a DC voltage. The solar photovoltaic system can be standalone system or a grid connected system. In standalone system, the solar power output is given to isolated loads. Like in a home, the power can be supplied to the power generated in the home and it will supply the power to home only. So, in standalone system, it can supply DC loads or AC loads. We know that the solar energy is varying. So, the output from the solar panel also varying. It will be a variable DC source. So, there should be a DC-DC converter. DC-DC converter will convert this variable DC to fixed DC. Or we can avoid that stage by using an inverter, which will convert variable DC to fixed AC. So, in that case, we will use a DC link, which can be a capacitor, or here we can use a battery for storing the energy. If we are using a battery, there should be a DC-DC converter, which will convert variable DC to fixed DC so that the battery can be charged. And there will be charge controller arrangements also. Then, while it is second one is grid connected system. In grid connected system, as we all know, it will be a 3-phase AC system with 50 Hz frequency. So while connecting it to the grid, the output should be such that it can be synchronized to the grid. So there should be an inverter which converts DC to AC, and the output AC will be such that it can be synchronized with the grid frequency and voltage. And for regulating the output voltage of AC inverter, there will be control boards, and also there will be communication system to display the available solar energy and output produced. And we know that the inverter output is having lot of ripples, as it is working in according to switching. It have lot of ripples. It will not be pure sinusoidal waveform. So reducing that ripple, there will be 3-phase line filters, and there will be transformers for providing connection to the grid. And also there will be circuit breakers for the protection of whole system. And the control boards will take necessary information from the grid or load so that inverter can be controlled accordingly. And there will be control room where all the parameters of the system are displayed, and the switching signals and the controllers for inverter and the system can be controlled. If it is a DC converter, this also can be controlled from the control board. And also charging of the battery can be controlled. So this is the basic working of a solar system. This is if it is a grid connected system, there should be an inverter, and if it is supplying a DC load, there we can directly supply from the DC-DC converter. Now we can see wind power plants. In a wind energy conversion system, wind power is converted to electrical energy by using a generator, electric generator. Usually electrical generator used is a induction generator. Now there are different generators are available, like doubly fed induction generator, permanent magnet synchronous generators, etc. Most simplest method is a squirrel cage induction generator. There will be a wind turbine which is coupled to the generator through a gearbox. Wind turbine consists of turbine blades and a rotor, turbine rotor. Turbine blades will catch the wind energy from wind, and in the turbine rotor it is converted to mechanical energy. Kinetic energy from the wind is converted to mechanical energy in the turbine rotor. And the turbine rotor will be connected to a shaft that will be usually a low speed shaft which runs at low speed. But as we all know, the generator should run at speed near to the synchronous speed. So the generator should have a high speed. For converting this low speed to high speed, there will be a gearbox arrangement. And also there will be number of converters for connecting to the grid. We can see another diagram. This is a detailed diagram of a wind turbine system. This is the wind turbine with blades. Blades will be usually having an aerofoil profile so that maximum amount of wind will be catched. And in the rotor, the kinetic energy from the wind is converted to mechanical energy, and it is connected to a low speed shaft. And this gearbox arrangement will convert this low speed to high speed, and it is connected to the generator which will convert mechanical energy to electrical energy. And there will be controllers for controlling the generator speed. And here also the speed of the wind is varying, so there should be controllers for controlling the generator speed so that it will produce constant voltage and frequency output according to the requirements. And there will be an anemometer to measure the wind speed. Usually this controlling to the generator is done from the anemometer according to the wind speed data available from the anemometer. In nowadays the systems are associated with rectifier and inverter arrangement, power electronic arrangement, so that there will be provision for maximum power tracking from the wind. Maximum available power can be tracked from the wind, and also there will be provision for proper synchronization with the grid, and maximum power can be transferred to the grid. The wind energy system also can be an isolated or standalone and grid connected system. If it is a standalone system, it can power directly to the load, and if it is a grid connected system, it can be connected to the grid or synchronized to the grid. And the whole system arrangement will be provided above a tower, and there should be a certain level height for the tower so that maximum available wind power can be catched. This is the basic diagram and working of a wind power generation system. We are discussing only two non-conventional sources in this syllabus. We have other sources like thermal powers, tidal power conversion system, fuel cells, etc. in the non-conventional sources. Thank you.